Ever get that feeling like the things we buy, they're kind of caught in this like global tug of war?
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're diving into today.
Mm-hmm.
How even the threat of a trade war can really shake things up.
Yeah. It's like, you know that saying, in times of peace, prepare for war?
Right.
It's kind of like that, but for businesses. They're already preparing, shifting their strategies, even if nothing's actually happened yet.
And that's what we're digging into today, right? The why behind all that. We're going deep on this research paper straight from the Federal Reserve.
Big brains on this one.
Yeah, but don't worry, we'll unpack it all. It's actually really relevant to, everyone, everyday life and all that.
Mm-hmm.
They basically look at these two different ways companies get their products. They call them the Japanese and the American procurement systems.
Yeah, catchy titles. But it's a really interesting comparison.
Okay.
Okay.
So think about like a Japanese car company, right? Known for those super strong relationships with their part suppliers.
Right.
That's like the Japanese model in action.
So it's all about loyalty, long-term partnerships, like a well-run family business, but global.
Exactly. You got it.
Yeah.
It's all about a tight network, trust built up over years, decades even.
Wow.
And what does that mean? Lower costs in the long run,
Mm.
no need to keep haggling over every little deal, and they just get it, Like there's this shared understanding of quality control, it's efficient, reliable, you know what you're getting.
Sounds pretty ideal, but...
But there's always a but, isn't there? Especially in economics.
Right. What's the trade-off? I feel like I can hear it coming. This system, it really relies on things staying, well, stable. And when you throw in the possibility of a trade war, tariffs suddenly popping up.
Oh.
That strength, it becomes a weakness. You're suddenly super vulnerable, relying on this one source that could just vanish. Imagine, like, bam, tariff hike on those car parts we were talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Production's frozen.
Yikes. So it's like all your eggs in one basket, a really beautifully made, high-quality basket. But still, kind of risky.
Exactly.
So how does this American system, how does that handle all this, uncertainty?
Think of like an American tech company sourcing parts from all over the place.
Okay.
That's more their style. Flexibility is key. Shorter contracts, multiple suppliers, always ready to shift if things go south.
The play it safe strategy.
Exactly.
Always hedging those bets, even if it means, a little more work on the back end.
Right. But that agility, it comes at a price. More inspections, more negotiations, more time spent, juggling all these relationships instead of just having those few solid ones.
And that adds up.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm guessing those costs, they trickle down to us, the shoppers.
Ding, ding, ding.
So it's like choosing between like a direct flight versus one with like 3 layovers.
Right.
You might save some time and money one way, but you lose that predictability.
But I mean, are companies really switching up their entire strategies based on the threat of a trade war?
That is the million-dollar question, and that's exactly what these researchers wanted to figure out.
Okay.
And their findings, they're actually kind of wild. Okay, so what they find, do companies actually change their sourcing strategies, like just because of a potential trade war, even if nothing's actually happening?
It's actually kind of crazy, but the data is pretty clear. They dug through like decades of U.S. import records looking for any signs, any patterns.
Oh, wow.
And guess what? Just the possibility of a trade war, it's enough. Companies get spooked. They're less likely to go with that efficient Japanese system we were talking about.
Really?
Yeah, it's like this shadow hanging over everything, making everyone play it safe, even if no tariffs actually happen.
That's wild. You'd think they'd just focus on what's happening right now.
Yeah.
The actual costs, not some like hypothetical trade war down the line.
It's all about risk versus reward, right?
Yeah.
You're a business leader, you see tariffs being threatened left and right, negotiations collapsing.
Yeah.
You're going to think twice about going all in on one supplier, no matter how good the deal seems.
It makes sense. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Global economic edition.
Oh, wow.
But so less of those Japanese-style partnerships. What does that actually look like for, regular people? Like, what's the impact on us?
Well, for starters, it could mean higher prices.
Oh, no.
Remember all those extra inspections and admin costs that come with the American system?
Right.
More flexibility, yeah, but someone's got to pay for it.
Right.
And guess who?
Us. It always comes back to us.
It trickles down, importer to distributor to retailer, and bam, right onto the price tag. It's like this hidden tax we're all paying for the uncertainty of global trade.
Wow. Okay, so this isn't just some like abstract economics thing. Trade war uncertainty can actually hit our wallets.
Oh, absolutely. And get this, these researchers, they didn't just tell us about it, They actually put a number on it.
No way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They built this whole economic model trying to figure out, like, how much does this uncertainty actually cost?
Okay.
And what they found was pretty eye-opening. Losing those efficient Japanese partnerships completely, it's like losing a third of the benefits of international trade entirely.
Seriously.
Yep. They actually compared it to going full-on autarky.
Okay, hold up. Autarky,
Yeah.
I'm going to need a translation on that one.
Yeah, it's a mouthful. Imagine a country going completely solo.
Solo.
Yeah, like no trading with anyone, just totally self-sufficient.
So, like North Korea on a global scale.
Basically, no imports, no exports, just whatever you can make yourself, that's it. That's autarky.
Okay, got it. So, like losing a third of the benefits of trading with other countries.
Exactly. That's how big of a deal this is.
Wow.
It shows just how much those hidden costs of trade wars, that hesitation to build those strong partnerships, it can really have a huge impact. And it's not just theory either. Remember back in 2001 when the U.S. gave China permanent normal trade relations?
PNTR.
Yeah, exactly.
Vaguely. I don't remember all the details, though. Refresh my memory.
It was a big deal. Basically, it was like the U.S. saying, hey, China, we're serious about this whole trade thing. We want to make this work long term.
Stability. That's what businesses like to hear.
Right. Reduce the threat of those sudden tariffs. Told companies, it's cool. Invest in those long-term partnerships. You're good.
And what happened? Did it work? So PNTR, it did its thing.
Yeah.
Like more of those Japanese-style partnerships started popping up.
Oh, yeah, for sure. After PNTR, American companies, they were way more likely to lock in those long-term deals with Chinese suppliers.
ASAP.
Like they were importing bigger quantities, but less often.
Yeah.
Exactly what you'd expect if they were feeling good about the future, no need to keep switching things up.
Like going steady. Makes you wonder, though, are there any downsides to this whole, like, American model? Besides the prices maybe going up.
Yeah, actually. Some researchers say this whole flexibility thing, it can actually hold back innovation.
Really?
Think about it. If you're always changing suppliers, just chasing the cheapest deal, are you really going to spend time building those deep relationships, the kind that lead to, like, breakthroughs and new ideas?
That's a good point. It's
Yeah.
like, are you just in it for the short term, or are you really invested?
Exactly. And those Japanese partnerships, they don't just help the bottom line.
Okay.
When companies from different countries, they work closely together, share what they know, build trust,
Yeah.
that spills over. It can lead to, like, better cultural understanding, even smooth things over between governments.
Yeah, okay. Now that's the kind of globalization I like to hear about.
Yeah.
So what's the takeaway here? What do we do with all this, like, Japanese versus American supply chain stuff?
I think the big thing to remember is trade deals. They're not just about the price tag anymore.
Right.
It's about creating a stable environment.
Okay.
The kind of place where businesses feel confident enough to put down roots, to build those long-term partnerships that we know are good for everyone in the long run.
So it's about more than just, like, how much stuff costs. It's about building relationships, trust, all that.
Exactly. It's about setting the stage for those Japanese-style partnerships to really flourish. Because at the end of the day, they don't just strengthen our supply chains, they strengthen those global connections, too. And that's something we can all get behind.
Such a good point. Thanks for breaking all this down.
Yeah.
First, it's amazing how something as, like, dense as a research paper on trade can actually reveal so much about, like, how interconnected everything is.
That's what I love about economics. It's everywhere, Just got to know where to look.
I hear that. And for everyone listening, next time you're, like, browsing online or whatever, just take a second to think about those hidden connections, all the stuff happening behind the scenes to bring those products to you.
It's a trip.
It really makes you see the world a little differently, But that's enough from us for today. Until next time, keep those brains engaged and keep diving deep.